morning. Thanks for tuning in to another daily conversation about situations in everyday life. So let's talk about it. So today I wanted to just kind of ask a question based off of what happened yesterday evening with me and my fiance. We kind of embarked on this new thing that we're doing where we're kind of like, instead of, after analyzing, our stress levels and where we were at, we kind of wanted to do something that would allow us to always, as a team, function at 100. Meaning, even if there's days where he's only at 20% and I'm at 10%, and between us we only have 30%, we are going to commit to communicate so that we can be able to come together and get to that 100%. Because a lot of times we don't realize that sometimes you just want to let it out. Sometimes you just want to share what you're feeling. And if you can share it with someone whose concern for you is on the same level of your concern for yourself, then they're going to give you the kind of encouragement and breathe life into you the way that you need to so that you can elevate to a higher level than where you are currently when you're emotionally just stressed, or mentally just stressed, or even physically just stressed, The question I wanted to ask us today is, what brings us to true mental peace? How can we really be in that element day in and day out, even with all the noise that happens outside? Is it sometimes just the security of knowing that even though you're dealing with this, you know what you have, even in your home or just within yourself, to endure this until you can just relax for a moment? Or even while you're in something, you know how to elevate yourself mentally so that you can be at peace while in it. It's kind of like, for example, when I used to drive for FedEx, I would love it so much because I'm a roadie. I like to drive on the road. I like road trips. Every time we drive from the north to the south, my fiance be like, you be acting like you want to drive the whole way. I mean, I've done it before. It's light work. I love it because it's time where I could put on 2 playlists back to back that I've done created and run them bad boys about 2 times, 3 times. And I'm good because I'm singing the whole way. I'm fake rapping the whole way. I'm DJ because it's different segments. I got my R&B segment, then I got my hip hop segment, then I got my dance hall reggae segment, then I got my roots reggae segment. It's crazy. But it's like, that's my time. So it's like when you're kind of in a realm where you can kind of just elevate to your peace, it doesn't matter what you're dealing with. So like when I used to work for FedEx, I used to always bump my music. Like regardless, even though I know I got mad boxes back there, I'm driving with a sense of peace because I've created an atmosphere that takes me there. Right? I remember I used to pull into certain neighborhoods and some people would be outside looking at me like, okay, she jamming. Because I'm telling you, I have a wide range of different styles of music that I will listen to. So it's just like, what can we do every day to get us to a place where we're at mental peace? Like true mental peace. Like we are content. We are happy. Like really, really at a peaceful place where our mind is at ease. Is that possible? Some people may think it's not possible because life is just too much. Life is just too crazy. You understand? It's like, it's really just a state of consciousness. I heard that growing up my entire life, that, heaven and hell is not a place. It's a state of consciousness, right? You can elevate to your heaven or you can drop down to your hell. It's pretty much your choice. And why I can say that is because I've actually seen myself tell myself what I want, even in the midst of wanting to be upset. because I'm committed to this journey that I'm on right now and this challenge that I'm doing right now, I'm committed to making sure that I think before I feel. I analyze before I act out in my emotions. I make sure it is a priority to keep myself at a peaceful place every day. If something takes me to a dark place or tries to take me to a dark place, I'm going to find my way back to that because I just committed to that. Committing to doing the work. That's all I did. I committed to doing the work. What the work looks like, that is determined on you. Because what you may want to work on is different from what I'm going to work on. But just commit to doing the work. And I think we can really create our true mental peace. You know, it's like, why are you happy right now? Because you choose to be happy. You will say, okay, it's because of what I'm going through, right? Yeah and no. Because even though what you're going through is happening, you choose how what's happening affects you. That's what you have control over. And it's so crazy because it's like the most deteriorating thing that's happening right now to everyone. It's like we cannot find peace. But it's like the one thing that we have control over fixing. Because it's your choice to shift your mind, to shift how you think. No one else can do that for you. They can put up whatever they want on media. You can see whatever you see on your timeline. It's your choice whether to believe it or not. And how do we analyze, how do we believe things, what we believe from what we don't believe? It's your choice. If I see something on TikTok right now or on the news right now and I'm going to be like, oh, snap, that word, I'm going to go do some research. That's just me. Because I'm not just going to go off of what I see because content is content. People can fabricate content all the time, right? So it's about what information is facts. I always, people don't really understand that why I love my faith so much is because as a Rasta, you know who you are and you empower others to know who they are. Like, it's like you really have to elevate to a higher self to be able to feel your inner power, right? If you don't elevate, you can't feel that. If you don't rid yourself of all your insecurities and all your disbeliefs and all your lack of faith and if you don't rid yourself of all of those things, you can never shift your mindset. You can never create your own mental peace. Because if you're looking for someone else to create that, you're never going to find it. You got to look within yourself. You got to see the power within you. You got to see that you have control and dominion over all things. If you don't believe that, you cannot do the work. And that's why I feel like shifting your mindset is like the ultimate way to really get to where you're trying to get to in life, because without doing that, you got to unlock that key. You gotta figure out what is it that's gonna work for me. What is it that I need to focus on right now in my life? What traumas am I suffering from right now in my life that I need to unlock? I need to rid. I need to detox. I need to break down and rebuild. What am I facing right now that I can control how it is affecting me? That's all we have to do. Start at one place, and I guarantee you everything is going to elevate. Everything that you're ever wanting to achieve in life, you will accomplish because you just committed to one thing, and that is doing the work. Do the work. If you commit to that, every time you get weak, every time you get weary, every time you think you can't do something, you're going to say, it's time for me to do the work. All right, what does that look like? Now you start to break down. Now you start to really look at stuff, because a lot of times we look at stuff with this insecure eye, with this false reality eye, with this eye of jealousy. We just look at things in all the wrong ways. instead of just looking at the reality. That's one of the things I love so much about my fiance, because I'm optimistic, right? So I'm always trying to see the good in stuff. I'm always trying to see the good in people, situations. I'm always trying to fix it. If someone is crooked, let me help you. Like, I have OCD. Don't let something be out of place. It's like, oh my gosh, it's so irritating to me. But I realized when I looked into myself, why am I like that externally? Because that's how I am internally. I'm always trying to fix something, right? I don't like to see things out of place. I want to see everyone as happy as me. I want to, share that energy. That's what true fellowship is, right? It's not, they try to put it on the fact that it's in this one way. Fellowship is when I can get lit with my sisters, or when I can get lit with my friends and sit down and have some real deep conversations and really get that. That's a peaceful place for me. Why? Because I'm around like-minded people and we're growing. We're growing emotionally. We're educating each other on things. We're sharing our wisdom. That is true fellowship to me. That is what everyone should be able to endure every day. Not where you're constantly in battle, constantly in competition. I call that phase me versus me. Because I'm choosing to let everything out there bother me. I'm choosing to let everything out there affect how I show up. Why? How am I allowing that? That means I'm an enormous self. That's why the first seal is serenity. We have to know ourselves. We have to unlock really, truly understanding who we are, seeking out your life purpose. That's one of the challenges that we have in Be Accountable Daily Challenges. It's like, really understand who you are, understand what your core is, what gets you excited, what gets you ignited. Like I shared with my fiance last night, we had such a good conversation. It was like, we really got into allowing each other to see each other, how we think, how we process, how we feel. So that in understanding that, I know, because I already know you and you already know me, but really understanding what every action, what every movement, what every feeling, what every attitude is coming from, it's a whole different ballgame, because now it's not really having empathy or even shutting down because you don't know what the person's attitude is for. It's like really being able to see that something is off. Really being able to read the room and read the energy between you. If you can't even connect to that level of yourself, there's no way you're going to be able to connect to that level with anyone else. So it's like, let's just really get in control of ourselves. Stop pointing fingers. Growing up, I always heard this from one of my moms. It was like, don't point one finger, because when you point one finger, three point back. It's like you always watching what another person is doing. Like, that was another thing that we kind of talked about in our relationship, where it's like, I'm not going to pay attention to what you're not giving me. Let me pay attention to what I'm giving you. And let me make sure that I'm projecting what I want so that in return I can receive it back. And I've seen so much growth in that, because now I'm not concerned if you ain't looking at me a certain kind of way, or if you ain't talking to me a certain kind of way, because you know what? I'm going to talk to you a certain kind of way. I'm going to look at you a certain kind of way, because maybe that would allow you to be vulnerable and let me know what's going on. And I see that it works. It works, guys. So if you're really trying to build a partnership or friendship, because it doesn't even necessarily have to be someone that you're intimately in a relationship with. It could be your sister. It could be your parent. It's just really getting into relations with each other and understanding how each other deals, so that we don't allow people to trigger us in the wrong way. We have to learn how to create our mental peace in every relationship in our lives, in every atmosphere in our lives, because that's going to make us happier. It allows us to be happier. It allows us to be more loving. It allows us to even love ourselves more. It allows us to do what we do with more passion and more excitement, opposed to doing it with such a burdensome energy. So let's just really, really focus on trying to get control of ourselves more than others, so that we can create our mental peace. All right? So today, just go out there, smile, be joyful, and enjoy. It's Friday, baby. And I will see you guys next week. Continue to be the best version of you.